Welcome everybody to Cup with Gup PGA final thoughts for the 2023 Arnold Palmer Invitational. It is a Wednesday morning. Should post this around lunchtime. I wanted to get it out. I wanted to wait as long as possible, but just too busy in the day job world to wait any longer. So I needed to get it out, mainly because of the weather. It's going to be the biggest talking point by far. And I mean, all honesty, as a content creator, it definitely gets even harder because you want to get things out later, the better as far as accuracy, but you want to get it out, so people can, listen to it, have time, read it, get their bets in, stuff like that. Where something like this could change a lot depending on how things look. I'd definitely wait as long as possible. If you haven't bet yet, maybe wait longer, but especially building lineups and stuff, I'd wait as long as I could. We'll go dive into the weather here in just a second. Use code SMASH, 20% off any package, monthly, weekly, annual, does not matter. Includes a 7-day risk-free trial. So if you do it today, you will get do the monthly today. If you do the weekly, then you get 2 weeks. You'll get a 7-day trial and another week. So technically would get API because you get all the information today for API, the players, and Valspar. But if you do a monthly today, you would get your free week, then players, Valspar, match play, Valero, and then you get right up to the Masters. You'd be right there. So pretty good time to join. You get a lot of those big tournaments. You can start out with the weekly. You can upgrade. 20% off stays with you on your upgrades with the code SMASH. Certainly big. There'll be Millie Makers next week. We know there's one, the 2222. I have a ticket to it already. Try to get some more this weekend. I assume, just like last year, I can't remember if they did a $15 or $20, something somewhere in that way. Maybe the $100. I can't remember what all they did last year, but there'll at least be 2 Millie Makers next week. I'll be excited. We'll get ready for that. But this is a big week as well. Now with these elevated events, rate and review us on iTunes. We'll be doing some draws, giveaways, certainly next week, but then even more so heading up for the March to the Masters after the players. We do that promo every year. We'll figure it out. We'll get it all locked in and announce that. YouTube, subscribe, like this video in the comment section. Tell me, who do you think wins API this year? That'll get you into those drawings for free. Rate and review get you in those drawings for free as well. Listener League, link is in the description. It's almost full. It may be full by the time this comes out. If it is, good, because we a lot quicker. We can get a bigger one for next week, especially typically DraftKings puts out for the majors and the players pricing Thursday or Friday the week before. So, by Friday of this week, we should see it if they keep it up the way they have. But, so I'll get it out earlier, get it bigger. Looking forward to that. Betting recap wise, we hit Kirk obviously, but matchups went 4-3, so a little profit there. Great profit overall for the week. Let's run that back again this week. Final thoughts for this week: API, weather. So as it stands right now, and they'll be, if you're not, I use about 4 different kind of go back and forth between sources to see what I think's best or more consistent. Several updates throughout the day. I wait as long as I can as far as like the premium content, my glorious nucleus, which is my core. But I want people to have time to digest it. And what I've been doing is kind of putting it out at a fair time. And then if there's real things that I move, I'll just add to that article later, and hopefully people see it. Wasn't as big of a deal on the West Coast because people could get up early, still read any adjustments I did late Wednesday and get it done. Not so much this week, being it'll lock probably, it's locked around 5:50 my time or so last week, so 6:50 or so East Coast time in the morning. So if you're playing, you got your money in there, it's worth staying in tune. I'll have E9 tonight with Kenny. We'll go in depth there. Then I'll be around Slack, be up early, checking withdrawals, all that kind of stuff. To me, I don't see enough of an advantage, especially when we're talking about a difficult course in and of itself to favor a wave advantage. Now, the comma pause to that is I do think most people that put out stuff today, chats, all that kind of stuff, I listen to as many as I can later, will probably lean PM AM. In general, people like PM AM more times than not. That draw, especially if you got a decent PM weather, those guys can post a number, then kind of see if they can make it. AM PM, you get the bigger break, waiting around. Some could say, though, I wouldn't mind knowing, the deal is Thursday morning to me looks better than Friday morning. And I think what we kind of thought even 24 hours ago was that Friday morning was the best of the week. I don't think that anymore. I think Thursday morning is the best. Friday morning or Friday PM, probably the most consistent. But what you're seeing now is like 15 steady, 25. There's a little pocket there, noon, 1-ish, 25, 30 gust. But in the morning, Friday morning, you got 10 mile an hour consistent, 20 or 17 to 23 gusts. So it's not like it's just calm, which I don't think we thought that was going to be calm. But Thursday morning, like, again, these guys are going to go off local time, 6:50, some of them. 3 mile an hour wind, 5 mile an hour wind, 6 mile an hour wind, gusts 10, 12. Starts picking up around 11-ish. The PM's not bad Thursday at all. It's going to be 9 to 12, gusts 10 to 15. So definitely Thursday is a better day in general. I just don't know if there's a big enough advantage. And then when I go on top of it and go, I think right now most people are going to play, or a lot of people will lean PMAM. I don't know I'm going to change any of my strategy. I think I'm just going to have my player pool and go right now. That can change. We could look at some stuff come in later and later into the evening, and it looks worse and worse. The biggest thing I'm looking at is that Friday PM. If I think the Friday PM isn't just horrible compared to the AM, I'm not going to rule out anybody, because I think those guys could go out Thursday morning early and post a good number before any wins come at all, right? So your JTs, your Willie Z's, your Sung Jays, all those guys, Cam Young, they go post a decent number before anything comes. I think JT goes off like first. All these guys go off there in that first hour or so. But, good number. Then they see the wreckage. What happened with the PM wave, the PMAM wave? Okay, well, I kind of know where my number needs to be. Yeah, I got to go play in some wins. But I got a good number in there already. Just survive. Maybe you're playing par golf. Just try not to bogey. Get out of there. I just don't see enough of the advantage right now, personally. Now, again, I'll be much more full in depth tonight with Kenny. I'll go into it on E9. We'll look at the latest maps and all that. Last night, I will tell you when I kind of put out my Thursday or Tuesday night thoughts in the Slack and put out a few of my articles, which this was late, like 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. I was leaning. I even said it in there that I think the AM, the PMAM is probably going to be the better part of the draw in the AM, and it's going to force even more. That's the other part, is it. If the theme as we go throughout the day on all the live shows and chats and all that is PMAM, PMAM, PM, AM, it's only going to enhance your ability to leverage if you're willing to take the risk, because Rory's that wave, Rahm's that wave. Hell, I'll just kind of pull up the little deal I posted. I mean, so in that, some of the key guys there: Rory, Cantley, Finau, Rahm, Tom Kim, Xander, Connors, Homa, Lowry, Mitchell, Morikawa, Matsu, which Matsu may not be as, key now if people get off with the neck deal, Fleetwood. Some of the key guys that it puts in kind of the bad spot, again, if people are believing the PMA hype: Scheffler, Willie Z, Young, Fitz, Day. So there could be some leverage spots there, and I just don't see enough right now to make it a big, because, I would say the later AM guys Thursday would probably be ones I'd kind of take a double look at and just make sure, okay, are they going to get the worst of both? If they go out later, they miss some of that first 4 hours of the best weather of the first 2 days, it looks like. If they go out, I don't know what times the last guys go out in the AM wave. It's because they split it. I didn't think they was going to do a true split, but they did. So, I mean, most guys are off before 9. I think all guys may be off before 9 local. So, all those guys are going to get a pretty good amount in before they have to, winds start picking up a little bit Thursday. But then they all will go out. What's the earliest they're going out? Like noon, right at the dot, noon, which looks to be the worst winds on Friday. So maybe you lean to some guys that are going out later Friday. The benefit of that is TV way. A lot of the guys that go off the last Friday are the guys that they want to show on TV Friday afternoon. Scheffler, JT, Zalatoris, Day. So right now I'm not factoring it that much. I'll go much more in depth in it later, but I know it's going to be a hot topic, so I want to get off the top to there. Trending to be the highest own. This could change a little bit, especially if we hear a lot of PMAM. Rory, Rahm, Hatton, Morikawa, Homa. Potential sleepers for me. Aaron Wise, a guy I do not play very often. I got him around 5 or 6%. He's in the perceived bad side of the draw as of now for most people. AM, PM again. I'm not going to keep repeating that, but I'm not factoring it most. But deep dive was great. Looks good on stats. Played fairly well here on the things I've looked at. I don't mind him. Adam Scott, same deal. Moved up decent amount through the deep dive. Going to be around that 5%, 6% range, 7,600. I don't mind him. Ben Taylor. I like both the Bens this week, Griffin and Taylor. I played them both last week, and I think on Smash I said I was going to play them both. Right now it looks like Taylor may be the better leverage of the two if you don't want to pick or if you don't want to play both. Griffin rates out a little bit better for me. They both have the same draw, PMAM, but I think Griffin could be twice as high owned as Taylor. And I know Taylor's a little bit more with the putter, but he's not horrible with the stats we got. Again, it's limited, but I don't mind him as a good low owned piece. Both of them are going to be lower owned, don't get me wrong, but it may be like 3% and 7%. So it may not matter much, but I like both, but Taylor would be lower owned there. And then Harmon, I think I talked about him on Smash. He's definitely someone that I like this week. He gets that late or the very early PM and very early AM Thursday, Friday. So if that matters to you, that's a factor as well. 7,200. I got him around 4% right now. It could be a good leverage play. Guys that have moved up for me, Cantley. Still hoping I get to see a presser today or listen, but he just looks so low owned. It'll be interesting to see if we hear a lot of him steam today because he does have the good draw, the PMAM. So maybe if that becomes a bigger thing, Cantley gets a little more up, maybe a Scheffler, another way different price. But when people are looking up top, if people start going off of your Schefflers and Willie Z's and stuff like that, JT's, it could boost someone up like a Cantley. But I still think he'll be, one of the lower owned ones, just not been around here much or played it. I don't know if he's ever played it, but Scheffler's a guy I like. I think he could be a leverage spot, like I just mentioned. The AM PM side of it, he still rates out well for me. I think he can grind. He did it last year. The price point, I think, puts more on Rory, which I think Rory will probably be the highest owned for sure. I think Rahm probably moves up in ownership and goes past. He'll be past Scheffler for sure, but could be up there just because, again, he's got the good draw with Rory. I like JT. A little bit more of a risk, but I think he's going to be solo owned. Not many wanting to go there. Definitely, and understand why. And then now he's got the AM PM side, which could make people go, I'm just off him completely. You could flirt with a single digit JT at 9, but a 9, 10, 11%. I wanted to go back. I have my notes. I'll probably go back before I put all this stuff. It's just the only reason I remember this because it basically cost me $1 million. But at Southern Hills, remember JT had the perceived bad draw, which he did. It did work out. The draws at Southern, we were right on. I was sweating the $1 million the last 5 holes. And he's the one guy that was kind of up there from the quote unquote bad draw that made it. And they wound up winning it, right? He came back and overtook, Mito blew it on 18, but Willie Z was up there. Cam Young was up there. Rory went off early that morning, but finished strong. Those are all guys on the good side. JT was still one of the ones that got through, grinded. What was the Southern Hills winning score? Like 5, 6, 7 under? Similar to what I think we can see this week. So I don't mind looking at JT. And then Sanjay. I think he's still going to be on. I mean, he's not going to be 40% like last week, but probably Again, perceived AM, PM, so that'll knock him down a little bit maybe, but that 11, 12, 13%, he definitely looks good across the board to me, and I don't mind going back there, especially if I get some low ownership, and he builds out some good balance builds at that 8,900 price. Moving down for me, I think the Rory Rahm deal I have to really look into. I don't know if I want to play both, if everything gets going PMA and PMA and PMAM, because I think there's some good leverage, and I just don't believe in the draw as strong right now. So that'll be a decision point for me. I could wind up still playing all three between Rory, Rahm, and Scheffler. Right now, it looks like I'm playing Scheffler for sure. And in doing that, unless I want to cut out a lot of the 9K, which I could, I'm still, that's some of the final things I got to do, around my lunchtime and then throughout the evening. I want to put out all the final thoughts. But make a decision there. Matthews moved down just because, we've seen on Twitter the Hideki tracker guy. Because he's been right before on it, you got to give a little credibility there. The neck is still bothering him. He does have the good side of the draw, and he is one of the lower owned people right now in the 8K range. So it could be one that you just go, I'll get even the field, right? If you're doing 150 or something, or maybe even 50, you go 10%, take your chances. A little worrisome though, because last time it did come true. Burns is a guy that's, I think, getting steamed up decent amount throughout the week. For 8,100, I get it, but double-digit ownership stuff, that's not a guy I really want to get to. And then Hovland's probably the one I'll fade. That's up there in price, 9K and above. Staying strong on Willie Z, Cam Young, Connors, and Mitchell for me. Leverage plays, JT and Hovland is going to be the top, and then Spieth and Matsu will be that 8K range. That's definitely going to be two of the lowest owned right now. Matthew probably takes a little hit today as that word starts traveling around. Underdog, don't forget, link is in the description. Underdog and Price Pick, same code, GUP, dollar for dollar match, up to $100. They got the majors best balls out right now for golf. I started seeing some people chattering about that on Twitter. Just Slack talks about it. So those will start getting hot and heavy as we get probably through the players and into the, before the Masters gets here. I think people will start getting into those. $10 to enter. There's a $3 one too, if that's not your kind of price point, but there's a $10 one. It's 500K in prizes. Looks like a great contest. Looking forward to that. Thursday 3-putts always there. I didn't see what price point it was. It was $10 the last few times. I didn't see if they moved it down to 5 to 7. But it's been a 40, 50K pot as well. One day, but you're drafting 6, and it's just one day only type deal. I definitely like those. I get into those when I have time and can jump in it. And, of course, they'll start rolling out all the NFL early best ball stuff as well. Prize picks, my 4 picks for round 1. You can add 2 to it to get your 6th pick and give you a chance to make money if you go 4 or 6 or better. The 4 I like Rahm over Lowry, birdie or better. Scheffler over Burns, birdie or better. Morikawa over Billy Ho, birdie or better. And then Willie Z over 4 birds total. Plates up. He goes out early tomorrow morning. I think he can get 4 birds, at least push for us, but I think he may get 5. There'll be bogeys out there, but I think he'll come out and do well there. My final 5 for one and done: Scheffler, Cam Young, Willie Z, Sung Jae, and Fitzpatrick. Don't forget, like I said at the top, 20% off. Use Smash. Gets you 20% off any package. Great time to join when you look at the schedule. You get your free week, as long as you haven't been a member before, but you get your free week and then another week, on. So whatever the weekly is, super cheap with the 20% off. You can get 2 weeks, which will get you API players and all the way to that Wednesday of Valspar, because you get 2 weeks from today. If you want to do the monthly, that'll take you all the way to the Masters as well. I think it's a great time to check that out. 20% off Smash. I will be back later on tonight with Kenny Kim. Premium only, so you got to be a member to check us out there. We'll post that up. It's normally around, I think, 5 or 6 my time or so is what we try to schedule for, which is Central. So we'll post it up when let you guys know in plenty of time. And it is recorded and posted to the site. So if you're doing kids and dinner and all that kind of stuff, you can come back and watch it later and jump in Slack with any questions you may have. Hope you guys have a great Wednesday, and we'll talk to you soon.